I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. It's so good to see you.
You too.
Okay, so I just wanted to tell you I'm going to be filming our session because I am a student.
Okay.
The only people that are going to see it is my classmates and maybe my professor. No one else. And I just want you to know everything that we talk about here is completely confidential. I would only have to report if, you were going to hurt yourself or someone else.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about today? How have things been going? I know last time you said you were worried about talking to your friend Lele.
Yes. Well, I found out that was kind of like a misunderstanding because it turned out she just dropped her phone in water.
Oh,
so
my
Her
goodness.
phone was broken.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, that was. So I've been over there a couple of times and that's been going good.
Okay, good.
But I don't know. And things happen because I remember when we talked before, I was telling you things had gotten better with me and Chucky, but I think it was like the initial just being in the house, and things are still calm.
Good.
But I wanted to talk to you about something that happened the other day.
Okay.
So the other night we were eating ice cream and we were watching Sons of Anarchy. We do it every night. And he was looking at his food and talking to me. And when he was talking, I kept getting closer to him and I thought I smelled alcohol in his breath. And he's, he can't be drinking and stuff. So
Right.
I asked him if he was drunk. I was like, have you been drinking? Are you drunk? Not drunk. I asked him, have you been drinking? And he was like, no. And I was like, why do you smell like alcohol? Why does your breath smell like alcohol? And I was like smiling about it and lighthearted. I thought there might be an explanation.
Right.
And he was like, I'm not effing drunk. And then he threw this big fit. He like got up. He ripped a cord out of the TV and said, you're not fucking watching TV anymore. And then he ran in the kitchen and then he said he didn't want to talk to me any effing more. He wanted me to get the F out of the house. He wanted me to move out with somebody else.
Wow.
And just leave. Yeah, and so I went down in the car and like sat out there for like 2 hours because he was so angry. I think the real thing, I'm so upset about it because I want to be able to talk to him.
Right.
About it drinking if I think he's drinking. So I don't know.
Well, first, Gina, I want to say I'm very proud of you for being able to remove yourself from the situation and go sit in your car.
Yeah.
That was a good move. And it sounds like Chucky kind of exploded when you accused him of using alcohol.
Yeah.
And I know that you said in the past you have used, drugs and alcohol. So how do you think you would feel if Chucky would blame you? Has that ever happened?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't ever accused me of it. And I feel like it's because I've done so well for so long, I've kind of earned that right to not be accused. But, I would feel really crappy.
Right.
And I mean, there are some times when I'm like tired or something. So I guess thinking about it, if he did, that would make me feel, it would make me feel really like crap.
Yeah, that's probably how he felt, because he has been doing well also. But I completely understand your side. If you think that you smell alcohol, you want to know and you have to know. That could potentially mess up your future and your daughter's future.
Yeah, and I like, if he accused me, I feel like I could talk about it. And I know you're right. I didn't even think about how it really was making him feel. I was just thinking about how unfair it was for him to explode like that.
Right.
I don't know what the right way is. How am I supposed to ask? Am I not supposed to ask? I mean, it wasn't that long ago when he had a slip.
Right.
And he's been doing really well since then, but that was in September, and I guess it just scares me a lot. I don't know.
Okay, well, what do you think is a better way for you to confront Chucky?
That's what I've been thinking about. Like, what could have I done differently? Maybe, I guess it just came out of the blue a little bit. I don't know. I really don't know what I could do differently. Maybe I could have waited until like the next day or something, because he was in a good mood. We were both in a good mood and everything.
Right.
Maybe instead of just like after he said no, I could have accepted it. I just get scared because in the past he said no, I'm not drinking, and he swore no, I'm not, I swear on my kid. And he actually did say that, and now come to think of it, he said, I swear on Nissa, I haven't been. And I said, yeah, well, that's what you always say. And now, wow, thinking back on it now, I think that was like a little rude. That's what you always say. I just feel like I don't want the same thing to happen. I think it's mostly fear. I think maybe he has earned a bit of a right for me to listen to him and respect what he says.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it sounds like, you're just afraid of him going back to that lifestyle, which makes perfect sense.
I'm terrified of it.
Right.
I don't know where that would lead me. And that's where all this fear comes from. Like, I'm in this new place now. I would never be able to afford this place of my own. And I love our family. I love my life right now. I don't want to lose it.
Yes, that would be hard. So, on one hand, you have your family with Chucky and things are going great. And then on the other hand, you guys have this past that you're constantly, worried about going back to. So, what would you do if that were to happen, if Chucky was to slip? Are you prepared for something like that?
Maybe that's a huge point that you're making right now. Maybe I'm really so scared because I have no plan. I don't.
Right.
Oh my God, I really don't. Like, by moving here, I lost where I was before. I just really don't know what I would do. So, I don't. I need to be, I guess, thinking about what I would do. Maybe that would make me feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
That didn't even occur to me for real.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be good for you to have a plan. That way you won't be so afraid. It would still hurt you, and of course you don't want him to backslide, but you would know that you and your daughter are going to be okay no matter what.
Yeah.
So do you think that you could handle, something like that, trying to figure out maybe some ideas of what you could do just in case things don't work out?
I think that's actually really important.
Okay.
And I have some ideas too about where I can start. Like, I think that I know my mom would let me come and stay there. I just don't really like living with my mom because I don't think it would work very well in the long term, but at least for an emergency place to go.
Okay.
To get away.
Yeah.
I just really don't even want that to happen.
I know, and it's hard to even think about. I just want you to be protected. So we'll definitely talk about this some more. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about today?
No, not really. That's the only big thing that's been happening.
Okay. Well, it sounds like, you and Chucky are doing this together. You have your new place and things are going good, but, the smallest thing, like maybe smelling alcohol, could cause an explosion or a fight. And, it seems like Chucky was innocent, though, which is good. And you removed yourself right away from the situation, which was excellent. So I just want you to keep, doing these things and just stay on top of your feelings and even his feelings so you can confront him in the appropriate manner. But I think you guys are going to be fine.
I think so too. And it was just the ice cream that made his breath smell like that. We figured it out the next night when my breath smelled like that, so.
Oh my goodness.
It did teach me a thing or two, so.
Okay.
All right, well, thanks a lot. It was
Thank
good talking to you again.
You too.
Okay.